So Nordstrom's dropping the Ivanka Trump fashion line after months of online protests. Although management insists the decision to drop the first daughter's goods has nothing to do with politics. This after we're told last night, we told you about the fact that the founder and CEO of Uber, he quit President Trump's economic advisory board because of a, quote, perception reality gap between who people we are and who people actually think they are. Well, should political correctness have any place in the corporate boardroom? Joining me now to discuss, Rachel Campos-Duffy, Christopher Bedford, and Danielle NcLaughlin. Guys, I want to share with the audience the letter to Nordstrom's that started this ball rolling back in October, right? This comes from nasty woman Laura. You can see, quote, it's inaccurate for Nordstrom's to say that it is not participating in politics or taking a position when it directly benefiting from Ivanka's promoting her wares at rallies where her father is making racist and sexist comments. You know, Rachel, she goes on to say, I spent $15,000 in the store. And you know, I mean, this is the woman. Nasty woman Laura got Ivanka Trump kicked out of Nordstrom's. This is outrageous.
Well, just so you know, Charles, I went to the Women's March in D.C., and those ladylike fashion line, Ivanka's ladylike fashion line with her, you know, high heels and very ladylike shift dresses, that was not the demo. I really doubt that nasty woman was dropping $15K on Ivanka dresses. I buy Ivanka dresses. I have her shoes. I have her coats. They're a great quality. They're great price point. And don't believe it for a second when Nordstrom says that it was a business decision. This was absolutely Nordstrom's cowering to the politically correct Nazis out there, and I think it's shameful. And guess what? You don't have to buy it from Nordstrom's. You can go to Amazon and many other places to get the line.
Danielle, you know, we know that the left makes the most noise. I mean, when they're offended by something, they go nuts, and you know, they'll torch a speech, right? They'll stop someone from speaking. So the greasy wheel, the squeaky wheel, rather, gets the oil. But I mean, is there a role? Should these big businesses that are essentially in business to profit by selling their wares to everyone who wants to buy it, should they be getting this deeply involved in politics?
Everything is political, Charles. I think ultimately that's the kind of net result we have here. And what we're seeing with people making decisions about whether they pay for their goods at Nordstrom or Amazon is a political choice as well. You can go stand in a voting booth, but you can also use the power of your wallet. I thought it was a convenience choice. I thought it was about making money. I mean, the dollar bill in my pocket, if it somehow ends up in yours, I won't know the difference. We've seen boycotting over the years, okay? So the Montgomery
So you think this is good? You think this is good?
I'm saying
Nordstrom's caving in like this.
If that's what they want to do, then they can do that. I mean, we saw boycotts of Target because of transgender bathrooms. So this happens on both sides, and at the end of the day, this is about where people want to spend their money.
I will say to that point, Christopher, maybe the folks at Nordstrom should look at a stock chart at Target, and while they're at it, Starbucks and a couple others. What are your thoughts?
Well, they say this is about money, and I think it is. They're actually terrified that any of their consumers will go against them, and corporations are freaked out by any kind of controversy. The best example I ever saw of that was when the American Legislative Exchange Council was targeted over something they had nothing to do with, the shooting of Trayvon Martin. And Van Jones would go from group to group and show them a website, corporation to corporation, show them a website saying, this is a website I'm going to launch to target you. Now, those corporations all withdrew their funding, but the problem is, the fatal flaw is, if you bow down to these social justice warriors and these guys who try to push you around for your politics, they're never going to stop. And the best thing you can possibly do is maybe go like the route that Whole Foods did when they had said, their CEO said, you know what, we are opposed to Obamacare. Conservatives rallied to get for them, and they had one of the best weeks in their history.
You know, on that note, Rachel, I remember when Jesse Jackson used to go around and shake down these businesses, but that more or less, you know, lined his pockets, right, or lined the pockets of a handful of friends. This is a deeper dynamic. This is something that's being played out on the national stage. And again, I guess it is the right of these companies, but when you're publicly traded companies, not only do you have employees, but you have shareholders that you should be thinking about as well.
Absolutely. They should be thinking about their shareholders, and they should be thinking about their customers who want the maximum amount of choices and would like to have their fashion served without all the politics. I'll say this, I think the people who are going to get the last laugh are a lot of these designers who have refused to cow down to these social justice warriors who are trying to change the market for them. Just look at what happened with Ralph Lauren. He was under enormous pressure not to dress Melania, our First Lady, on Inauguration Night. He hit a home run with that dress. Everybody wants to love that dress. Everybody wants to know about that dress. And he really, I think, reestablished himself as being America's fashion designer who's above politics, who's above it all, and is beloved as America's fashion designer. So he, along with other less-known designers and other companies that refuse to give into this, I think in the end will reap the rewards, because Americans love a great product.
Right. Ralph Lipschitz from the Bronx, okay? So that's a trivia question for you. So, but here we are. You know, we're talking about healing the nation. The election is over. Everyone's going to have to live with President Trump for the next 4 years. This sort of idea that progressives are just making so much noise and there's so much animosity, I continue to say it's backfiring on the whole movement.
I think that Democrats have to be very careful, and I agree with you, Charles, that if you cry wolf, if you cry foul at absolutely everything that you are offended by, you're going to lose your political capital. I think that Democrats need to focus on the things that really matter to them, things like Obamacare, things about making sure that President Trump does actually invest in infrastructure like he promised. If they are going to jump up and down every time he does something that they don't agree with, they've lost.
Right. Thank you very much, guys. All appreciate it.